Hey folks, Bridges here. Quick video on how to turn this cam shape into an actual cam in Fusion. Right? So the first thing that we're going to need to do, having Fusion open, is we're going to make a basic blank cam. We're going to make it a circle cam at the correct thickness with a hole in the middle. So let's start with a new sketch on the front. I'm just going to make a circle with a diameter of much bigger than whatever need to fit inside my cam box, and then I'm going to make it 5-inch diameter, and then I'm going to eventually cut off the excess. Okay. I'm also going to put another hole. So instead of creating a hole feature later, I'll just draw a circle right now, and I'm going to make this center hole the diameter of my axle, which I have already measured to be 0.119 inches. So at this point, we'll finish the sketch, and we will extrude. I always like to look at it from an angle. We're going to extrude this to a thickness of 0.25. Now, I don't like the gray steel on the gray background, so at this point, I'm going to change the appearance of my cam to just be a nice bright yellow color so you can see it a bit better. Now, what we want to do is we want to go back and get our cam shape, and we want to screenshot this. So Windows Shift S is my shortcut on Windows. Screenshot the shape that we want there. And while we're here, we're going to notice that the major diameter, aka the furthest lobe away from the center on my cam, is right down here at 180 degrees. Okay, I'm going to look over my data table and find that at 180 degrees, the distance, the diameter of my cam is 2.4 inches. 2.4 inches at 180. So back over here on Fusion, let's create a reference mark on my cam blank here. So I'm going to do a new sketch on the face of the cam, and I'm going to create a point somewhere down here. And it is at 180 degrees, so I'm going to come straight down from my origin, and I'm going to put a distance on there of 2.4. If you remember, that was the distance from my data table, 2.4 at 180 degrees. So that actually is almost the perfect size for our cam blank. Okay. Next thing, we're going to finish our sketch, and we're going to keep we're going to keep an eye on that reference mark. Now we're going to put a sticker on the front of our cam, and that is going to be in the form of a decal. A decal is basically a sticker. And the sticker that we're going to use is insert from my computer, and I'm going to look in my pictures folder, and I'm going to look in my screenshots. And there's my most recent one. It's the pear cam. I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to place it right here on the surface of my cam. Now, right now it's upside down for some reason. Okay, I don't know why, but I'm going to use the rotate option to rotate it around 180 where I can see it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the center of my polar grid. Now look, it's trying to wrap it into the center hole here. I don't like that. All right, so the reason that it's deforming my picture around that center hole, it's trying to wrap my sticker into that hole. I'm going to go down here and uncheck the bottom checkbox, which is chain faces. Let's uncheck that. And now I'll click on my face again. Oh, it's really warping it this time. Okay? Really not liking that. So I'm gonna cancel out of my face, close out of my faces, choose one face, and uncheck chain faces, and now I should be good. Now I can use my square to move this around, and I can use this little curve here. There's a little curve in between the two arrows. There's a little curved corner like a chamfer that allows me to do my scale. Weirdly, I need to flip it around once again. And I need to get the center of my polar grid into the center of my cam, where the hole is. So why am I doing this at an angle? I should be looking straight at it. There we go. So once again, the center of my polar grid should hit right where the center of my cam is, where the hole is. Right around there. Okay? And now we need to use that scale option to make the scale basically the biggest point in my cam should be hitting where my reference mark is. And it takes a little bit of moving and scaling, that actually looks pretty good. So you're going to combine moving and scaling until the center of your polar grid is hitting the center of your cam, and the largest point of your cam is hitting that reference point. And at this point, we're good, and we say okay. Now that's just a sticker. Now we need to go into a new sketch and trace that sticker to basically cut there. So I'll go a new sketch, I'll go on the surface of my cam, and I can use a combination of circles if I want. So I'll make a circle for that portion, and then I'll use maybe an arc or a spline, maybe even a conic curve to go sort of from here to here. Conic curve isn't doing what I want it to do. How about an arc? A 3-point arc starting right around in here, coming down to somewhere up in here. And there, that looks pretty good. I can change that curve just a bit. I actually don't like that curve a whole lot. So I'm going to try one more time. I'm just going to do a spline. Fit point spline, starting right around here. And I'm going to click around the blue line several times to get it right there. And since I've done half, now I can sort of change a couple of these fit points. And I can now mirror that spline over to the other side. I need a vertical line first to make my mirror line. Mirror that across the vertical line, and there we go. So now, if I turn off my decal, finish sketch, turn off my decal. Why is my decal not turning off? I've got a shape that somewhat resembles it. Now it looks like I might need to do some work down here to smooth it out a bit. Okay, that's good right there. And I can always apply a fillet if need be. So think maybe this one is a little, just smooth it out a bit, changing your fit points. It's kind of lumpy. We don't want a lumpy cam. There we go. That looks pretty good right there. Not great, but I'm okay with it. So now at this point, folks, we're going to go ahead and trim off the excess from our yellow cam. So we're going to go to extrude, and we're going to choose what we want to keep, actually. And then we're going to choose, instead of new body, we're going to make it intersect. So we're going to go backwards with it, and it's going to keep whatever we had there. So it's not perfect. It's decent though. If I turn on my decal, it roughly matches that shape, which is what we're going for. And there we go. Go ahead and save your cam. I'm calling this one demo cam, demo pair cam. Now at this point we need to turn this into a technical drawing so that we can print it out and put it on the bandsaw. So to do that, once again we're going to go to File, New Drawing from Design. I happen to be using a template title block, so I've already created a template drawing using a custom title block. I'm going to choose IED title block A for an A size paper, which is similar to a printer paper, and I'll say OK. It does take a minute. So now my paper is ready. I'm going to go ahead and place the front view of my cam Except I should notice that the scale that they're trying to give me is 1 to 2. That's because I've used a relatively small sheet of paper. I want to make that full size, so I'm going to change that a 1 to 1 scale. I can reposition here. Say OK and reposition. It still looks a little lumpy. I might go back and change that here in a minute. I can go ahead and make my projected views from up here, and I can project so I can have a top view and a side view if I want to. But I definitely want an isometric view. Click the check, double click on the isometric, and go ahead and select shaded. It's good practice. And I'm going to go ahead and put in some basic dimensions, such as a diameter of the hole. That's not what I'm looking for here, is it? Diameter of the hole. And I'll put in a couple of the major and minor diameter of the cam as well. So maybe like from here to there. Choose a linear dimension. I'd say we're good to go here, folks. Go ahead and save your drawing. Now, if you wanted to go back in and change, before we save, if you wanted to go back in and make any changes here to the actual model, you could do that. You could change your cutout here, edit this sketch, and change whatever points that you needed to change. And if you do that, make sure that you save. And when you come back to your drawing, it gives you the yellow triangle that says, hey, this has been updated. If I click that, it updates my drawing. And there we go. So, looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and save this. And at this point, we're ready to print that off. You can cut it out. You could tape it or glue it to a piece of wooden stock and cut that out on your bandsaw, and you'll be ready to go. Don't forget to use your drill press first to drill your center hole. Yeah, good luck. I hope this video was helpful.